Pranita,
Yes, sir.
now you can start, I think, within two seconds.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you can start, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning, one and all present over here. Myself, Pranita Gulhane, on the occasion of 124th birth anniversary of Dr. Panjabrao alias Bhausaheb Deshmukh, founder president of Shri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati, Science College, Congress Nagar, Nagpur, and in association with Microbiologist Society India, we are organizing a lecture series based on the theme Indian speaking from abroad. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I welcome you all. I welcome President of Microbiologist Society India, Honorable Dr. Arvind Deshmukh, sir. I welcome Principal Shivaji Science College, Congress Nagar, Nagpur, Honorable Professor Mahendra Dhore, sir. Our eminent guest speaker, Ms.Kavita Patil, ma'am, from USA. So today's topic of the guest lecture is evaluating safety of sows wide for beef products. So before that, I must introduce our eminent guest speaker of today's lecture. Yes, Ms. Kavita Patil, ma'am, is pursuing PhD in food safety and microbiology at University of Arkansas, USA. She has her expertise in RT-PCR, TEMPO, VIDAS, then Laminultra, as well as data interpretation, method validation, and verification in PCR techniques and other microbiology laboratory setups. She has her expertise in invention practices to address low moisture food persistent bacterial populations, as well as in industrial experience. She has worked at SGS India Private Limited, Chennai, and worked on plan organization and control operations of microbiology laboratories and manage all the technical functions in accordance with the ISO and many more things. Apart from this, she has also worked at National Dairy Development Board, Gujarat. There she has worked to analyze various food, feed, water samples according to ISO and other standard, as well as she has prepared the SOPs or laboratory manuals in microbiology and much more. In research activities, she has used different nanoparticles in water purification system. In her study, she has synthesized the silver, iron, and copper nanoparticles using Azadirachta indica leaf extract as well as Caesium aromaticum extract and was successfully carried out that research work. She has also estimated the active ingredients of natural oils in vapors generated by pressurized steam disinfection chambers and evaluated the reduction or total bacterial count. So that are much more research activities she has conducted. She has many more publications in national and international journals, as well as attended national or international conferences. She is the member of many professional bodies. As well as in her achievements, she is the recipient of many awards and accolades. She has won first prize in science exhibition organized by CHM College in 2011. She has won third prize in an intercollegiate event, Sukshma Workshop Model Competition, conducted by the Birla College in January 2012. She has also attended and organized many training programs in quality management as well as laboratory quality management, as well as training program on PCQR, etc., etc. So thank you so much, Ms. Kavita Patil, ma'am, that you have accepted our invitation to deliver your precious lecture, which is based on the theme Indian speaking from abroad. So may I request you that you should please proceed with your guest lecture, and before that, please give some details, give some idea to our participants that what is your journey from India to abroad. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Pranita, for giving such a nice introduction of mine. And I'm just sharing my screen. So just do let me know whether you can able to see my screen. Okay. So
It is visible. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So first, I would like to start with thanking Professor Mahendra Dure, Principal of Science College, Nagpur, and Dr. Arvind Deshmukh, President of Microbiologist Society, who has conducted this lecture series on theme Indian speaking from abroad. And I really like the motto behind this particular lecture series, so that students who are willing to pursue their masters or who PhD in US or any foreign countries, definitely they'll get benefited, or they'll get some idea from this lecture series, and definitely they'll get motivated. And I would like to thank Dr. Pranita. She was always there to resolve my questions. So I just really wanted to thank her. So with this, I'll start my today's presentation. Okay. Okay. So study in USA. So if you wanted to pursue masters, so what are the things you have to consider when you are thinking of study in USA? So the selection of courses, this is the important part. Over here, courses are very specific. Say for example, microbiology. In microbiology, in US, you will find clinical microbiology, food microbiology, soil microbiology, water microbiology. So you have to be specific which microbiology section you have to choose. Courses changes according to the university. So you have to check each and every university in which you are going to apply, whether that particular university is offering you the course. Then second one, selection of university. That is another important thing. Check if the university is public or private, because this will definitely differ the tuition fee. Public universities are having a lesser tuition fee than the private. Check the university ranking in country and worldwide. This will definitely affect when you are going for job. Scholarship offered by the university. The university usually offer many scholarships. So as I have received graduate assistantship, so for PhD, it is like a fully funded. Um, for masters, you will get the regional scholarship as well as the departmental scholarship. So you have to connect with the professor, or you have to just check the university website for the departmental, regional, or merit-based scholarship. The fourth one is basic document. What are the basic document you have to prepare? The first one is your curriculum vitae. You have to prepare a curriculum vitae very strongly, and the transcript of marks from the respective college. So what do you mean by transcript? Transcript is consolidated form of your marks of your bachelor's or master's. And if you have did your master's and you're applying for PhD, then you need the transcript from your bachelor college as well as from your master college. So these are the few important things which I have highlighted in red color. So if you're going for masters, so you have to give GRE, but again, it is not mandatory now. So you have to check to college website. So if you wanted to get admit in very good college, then above 300 you have to score, and above 300 and 310 is a very good score for a GRE. You have to give English proficiency test. This is a mandatory. You have to give IELTS or TOEFL. So for IELTS, it's totally depending on the university to university, but more than you have to at least achieve more than 7 or 7.5 band in IELTS, and TOEFL 100 plus score is really good. So then you have to show your family income certificate, what's your yearly earning, then property valuation, and then proof of sponsorship if someone is sponsoring for your study. So after this, the fifth one is what you have to do after receiving your admission letter. You don't have to wait. You straightly have to apply for the visa. Nowadays, getting visa is very hard because we are not having a dates. So once you have received the admission letter, don't waste your time, apply for a visa. Okay, so the PhD in US. So admission, it's in a cycle format. So admissions are open in spring, summer, and fall. And if the professor are having funding, then he can call you anytime. So the approximate period to apply for a spring intake is you have to start from July. So your college will start, your spring term will start from January. For summer, you have to start application from the December. So your interview and all, it will take 2 to 3 months, and then you will get the admission letter. And finally, your lectures will start from May. For fall, you have to start application from Feb, and then your classes will start Feb or Jan, and then your classes will start in August. So you can see the difference. I mean, 6 to 7 months of difference from application to the class started date. So you have to check the university website for admission information. They have given a very good and clear-cut information in their websites. When you're applying for the PhD, the first thing you have to do is you have to start mailing the professor, and not just one or two. You have to mail at least 20 professor, and from there you will not get any of I mean, they will not respond you. When there are chances, like if you are mailing 10 professors, might be one or two may reply to you, but then they will ask you to apply in college website, and there is a fee for the admission. Like they are having a fee like $75 or $100 per form. So first you have to start mailing the professor. Once professors give you a green check, then only apply for that particular college. Otherwise, don't apply. It's just the waste of money. So what are the documents actually you need? So you need your CV, your passport should be scanned, and while sending the mail to the professor, you just have to you just have to give a little bit information about you and your work experience if you are having any, then your research interest, how it is matches with the professor's research area. So in that particular mail, you have to attach your statement of purpose. If you have given English proficiency test, then you have to apply that particular score, and transcript. And if you are having any publications, so you can attach that particular publication when you are sending mail to the professors. And when you are actually applying on college website, then they will ask you a number of documents. So these are the list of the few documents which you need to upload on the portal of that particular university. So letter of recommendation, they'll ask minimum of 3 letter of recommendation. SOP is nothing but the statement of purpose, why you are coming over here for the study, and why particularly this college, not why not the other college. And then English proficiency test, then GRE, as I have mentioned, it is totally depending on the university. And for the PhD, most of the universities, they are not asking for the GRE. And scanned and signed copy of your master's and bachelor's degree certificates. So across the globe, you can apply in Canada, USA, UK, Europe, Asia, Singapore, or Australia. It's totally depending on your choice. So what are the pros if you are applying in US? So the US is having 168 different universities, 17 of which are in top 20s. So the United States assigned the education index of 99.9% to the US, ranking it to the number 1 in the world. US is one of the most ethnically and socially diverse nations. More than lakhs of large, medium, small size technology companies are functioning in the US. So after your MS or PhD, there is a chances of getting a direct job into these firms. It is very easy to get a work permit for STEM graduates. So what do you mean by STEM? It's a science, technology, engineering, and maths graduate for first 3 years of after their graduations. What are the cons? So education over here is a little costly when you don't have scholarship, sponsor, or internship or fellowship, and MBA programs are very expensive, and you need a very solid work experience. Work or PR, we say, permit, residency permit. So residency permit post 3 years after the graduation will be challenging and based on merit. So the organization in which you are working, they have to apply for your green card or H1B, which is sometimes it is a time-taking process. So there are tons of top schools in US. Here I have just mentioned few of them. One of them like Stanford University, which is a well-known, then Yale University, Harvard University, Columbia University, etc. So what do you mean by LOR and how to get impactful LORs? So the LORs is nothing but the letter of reference or letter of recommendation is a signed statement from a person who knows you personally and professionally or has taught you a subject that is related to that particular course you are applying to. So it might be your project guide, your professor, or internship manager. So what he actually has to write in the letter of recommendation. So he or she has to list the positive qualities, your strength, or any responsibility if they have given it to you and how well you have handled that particular responsibilities. And they just have to give the real life examples and observations about yourselves. So this LOR plays a very important role in your admissions. Okay, so here I have mentioned the few of the steps for the LOR. Ask your recommenders well advanced. Don't wait till last minute because nobody is free for you to write a letter. So just ask your recommender well ahead of time. Give your professor's email ID to university application form. So over here, everything is like online. You just have to fill online, and then the link will go to the professor, and then professor just have to click the link, and that particular link is divided into a two form. So the first, they will ask your professor to rate you on 5 to 10 criteria, and the second, they will ask you to upload the PDF recommended letter. So this is always not like part one, part two. It is totally depending on the university. Some university will ask to grade on 5 to 10, or some university just ask to upload the signed recommended letters. And make sure that the LOR should be on university or company letterhead. Now the next is how to write a strong SOP, because SOP is what you are, because you are not in front of the professor or you are not in front of the university. So this single page or 1.5 page will decide whether you will get admission in that particular college. So what is the statement of purpose? Statement of purpose is personal essays or statement plays an important role in process of evaluating your application for both admission as well as the financial aid. This section is the key to distinguish your application from the other suitable candidates and a chance to market yourself. So basically this particular document, it just sell yourself. It's like you have to write it very well in this 1 or 1.5 page. So personal statement should include a reason for choosing a particular course. So if you are choosing, say, for example, food microbiology, so why you are choosing that particular course, there should be a reason. You have to give a reason behind selecting the course. suitability of your education. Say, for example, you are from physics background, but you have to, but you are applying for biological sciences. So that is not a suitable education, right? Then the experience for chosen course. Do you have any experience? Like, have you done any internship? Have you done any work, or you're just a fresher? So whatever the experience you are having. So if, say, for example, if you're a master student, so master students are having their own projects. So you can mention about your project and what are the difficulties you have faced and how you have overcome it. So what is your personal interest and what are your career goals? So make sure that this statement of purpose, this particular document should be about 1 to 1.5 page, not more than that. So what are the contents of successful SOPs? So there should be 5 to 6 paragraphs, and that too, it should be 1 to 1.5 page. So make sure that your each paragraph should be 4 to 5 sentences. So the first paragraph is your introduction paragraph. The second paragraph will be your high school and undergraduate work, what you actually studied, and how you have built the interest in this particular course which you have chosen. Then in third paragraph, you can actually continue the middle and key paragraph. In paragraph 4, you have to discuss your work experience if you are having any, or if you have done your internship, then you have to talk about the internship. Or if you are a master students, then you have to just discuss about your master project. And paragraph 5 and 6, why you are applying to this particular university which you have chosen. What is the main reason behind it? Why not the other university? So your SOP should be well organized and coherent. So in the introduction, as I have mentioned, you have to clearly state what field and specialization you intended to pursue. Lead with the information that is relevant to your field. So be honest while writing your SOP. Do not make up a story. Please don't do that. Avoid sentimentality. So in the middle part of your SOP, describe your development as an undergraduate student. Briefly summarize any thesis or project work. Mention the title, any co-researcher, your responsibilities and outcome, and how you had like to extend this research work in future. Write for a technical audience, that is, who are expert in your field. Must demonstrate your academic qualifications. And the last part, like paragraph 4, will talk about your work experience and internship. If you have done any good projects while you are working or internship, you can discuss about it. You can just simply mention in 4 to 5 lines. Then you have to explain clearly in what ways has your work experience better prepared you for the grad school. Then describe the unique skills imparted to differentiate yourself from other prospects. So as I have mentioned, you have to sell yourself in this particular document and share your understanding about your abilities, interests that may serve you well in grad school. So in the last paragraph, like 5th, 5th, and 6th paragraph, you just have to do, you just have to write a conclusion. Why this particular university? Why XYZ or ABC University? So the SOP should conclude by talking about why you wanted to apply to this particular university and that particular program. Why not any other? Since you have already talked about your research interest, motivation, specialization, and career goals, now it's necessary to connect all these things, program to your intent to apply to. So do your research on the target program and understand the kind of research undertaken there. Identify a professor with whom you would like to work and how their research interests match your own. Identify the courses that will help you to achieve your research goals, and demonstrate how your preparation, motivation, and experiences will match the characteristics of the graduate program in the university. So here I have just mentioned do's and don't in the university, in the SOP. So SOP writing will take time. because you have to think, you have to write it, and you are having a limitation of 1.5 or 1 page. So hence start early. Clearly state what field and specialization you intend to pursue. Lead the information that is relevant to your field and be honest. Use formal English and keep a one writing style. If you are writing a factual, then be a factual. Or if you're writing in a narrative way, write it in a narrative way. Always proofread your work for grammar and sentence structure. This is very important. Follow university specific instructions on word count and questions. So every university, they are having a word count for SOP. So word limitations. So many of the universities are having 1,000 word for SOPs. So you cannot exceed 1,000 word while writing SOPs. And what are the don'ts? Don't make up any story while you are writing SOPs. Avoid sentimentality. Avoid controversial statement as relates to politics or religions. It's not a must to include quotes in the SOP, and do not sound too critical about your country. How to fund your degree? Many of the people think that study in USA you have to like pour a money to come over here, but it is not like that. So what are the 4 mistakes actually students do while getting the scholarship? They are starting late. They are limiting their search, and this is how they are just wasting their chance to get the scholarship. So do not start late. Don't limit your search. Don't write a cookie cutter application and expect it to be work for everything. No, don't do that. Don't expect to get everything right on your first try. So in my case, I have applied or I have emailed 15 professor. From them I have just got answer from 4 to 5 professor. So this is how it works. Sometimes professor or the university doesn't have funding for the PhDs, so they are not taking many of the students. So you don't have to, you just have to keep on trying. Just don't lose your hope. So what are the different funding options are available for your degree in abroad? So the first is like scholarship you'll get from the university. The second one is bank loan, and the third one is if you are if you are belongs from the wealthy family, then personal or family funds you have to show. So here I have just tabulated like chances of funding. So PhD, as I have mentioned, it is usually 100% funded. So we don't have to pay any tuition fee. Rather, they will give us research assistantship or teaching assistantship. So it will help us um, to live in the US. For masters, try and you will find something. Like for masters program also, there are many scholarship or internship. So definitely you'll get something. For MBA, it is difficult, but you should still try. There will be something. So actually, when you are coming over here, there will be a many fellowship, research assistantship, teaching assistantship, and you'll get the tuition waiver. So you don't have to worry about it. So even if you are not getting the RA or TA ship, what you can do is you can do on-campus job. So you have to first inform your department that you don't have fellowship or assistantship. So to survive in the particular state, you have to do a on-campus job. So department has to give you a green signal, then only you can apply for the on-campus job. Off-campus job, if it is legally permitted. But the student who are coming from India to US, basically we are not permitted to work off campus. And the third one is internship and COPS. So this is a very good opportunity to earn money for the living. So that's all about my journey, and this is how I have wrote my SOPs, and I have started a little early to come over here. So it was a very hard time for me. So coming to the today's topic, which is evaluating the safety of sous vide beef products. So many of you are thinking like, what do you mean by sous vide? Sous vide is basically a French term for under vacuum. So sous vide cooking actually we can define as any raw material or raw food product that are cooked under vacuum with controlled temperature and time parameters. So sous vide cooking is growing trend among the retailers and consumer as it uses low temperature and long time parameters that preserves the quality attributes of the meat products. However, this cooking parameter are not fully evaluated for its safety as well as for its quality. And there is a possibility that foodborne pathogens like Salmonella or Shiga toxin producing E. coli, which also we call as a STEC, which may contaminate the spices that are commonly used in a marinades and dry rubs for meat product may survive the cooking, particularly if the pathogen has enhanced thermal resistance. So I would just like to show you the what exactly the sous vide is. So here there is a beef product. So what either you can directly go for sous vide or you just have to marinate this particular product with spices. Say for example, black pepper. Over here people are marinating with the black pepper or salt. You just have to add it on the top of beef or steak. And then step 2 is like you have to vacuum seal it. Step 3 is like you have to set the sous vide at particular time and for particular temperature. And then you have to submerge this product into the water bath, say for example. And after a particular time, you have to remove this product from the water bath, and then you have to sear it and then serve it. So this is how the sous vide works. So we have chosen Salmonella, Montevideo, and Shiga toxin producing E. coli because of their association with the spices and meat outbreak, which has happened in USA 2001. So 3 types of samples were treated with the sous vide cooking and sous vide cooking followed by grilling to an internal temperature of 165 degree Fahrenheit. So it is in degree Celsius, I would say 74 degrees Celsius. So 3 type of samples we have taken is the first one is a ground beef. So the ground beef sample we have directly inoculated with the cocktail of Salmonella and E. coli. The second sample is spices, ground black pepper. We have inoculated with the cocktail, and then we have used as an ingredient to marinate the beef product. And the third one is ground product we have inoculated with this cocktail and equilibrate at 30% relative humidity for 4 days prior to use as an ingredient. So this particular beef patties, we have vacuum sealed in a bag and was completely immersed into a circulating water bath. The water bath was already set at 62.5 degrees Celsius. And these particular samples we have removed every after 5, 10, 20, and 120 minutes of interval, just to check whether at what particular time sous vide will reduce the 5 log of these foodborne pathogens. Then after removing these particular samples from sous vide, we then check the surviving Salmonella and Estec cells on XLT and SMAC agar. So XLT4 and SMAC agar is a selective media for Salmonella and Shiga toxin producing Escherichia coli. Okay. So when we have inoculated ground beef with the cocktail, we have found the result. So you can see this solid lines are for sous vide and this dotted line are for sous vide plus grilling treatment. So this blue one is for a steak, or you can say Shiga toxin producing E. coli, and this yellow one is for Salmonella. So you can see where we have given only sous vide treatment, we for 120 minutes, we have seen that Salmonella, we have got 5 log of reduction, but for steak, we didn't receive a 5 log of reduction. It is between 4 to 5. But where we have given grilling treatment, sous vide plus grilling treatment, we have received more than 5 log of reduction. So this is for the first sample. Coming to the second sample, where we have spiked our cocktail in spices and then we have used as a marinade for the beef. Here also we have got where we have given only sous vide treatment for the steak and Salmonella. Salmonella has reduced till 5 log, but steak none. But when we have given sous vide plus grilling treatment, and we are grilling at 74 degrees Celsius after sous vide, we have received a much reduction in both the pathogens. And the third one, where we have equilibrated the spices at 30% RH for 4 days. So we have seen like there is a really good decrease in Salmonella when we have applied only sous vide treatment, but not for steak. Steak is more thermally resistant than Salmonella when we are applying only sous vide technique. But when we are applying sous vide plus grill, we can see more than 5 log of reduction. So what are the conclusions from this particular study? So sous vide cooking, actually, it was effective for 5 log of reduction for all the pathogen after 120 minutes. From the data that we have observed for the sous vide, so we can conclude that sous vide followed by grilling is much more effective than only sous vide to reduce the foodborne pathogens in a ground beef product. In all inoculation and cooking scenarios, steak exhibited greater thermal resistance than Salmonella. So what are my future studies will be? So I will perform the same experimental design on tenderized and non-tenderized steaks. And steaks will be directly inoculated with Salmonella steak and indirectly inoculated with the marinade that may be internalized during vacuum packaging and cooking steps. So thank you. Any questions?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your thorough information which you have given on your said topic, as well as you have really given each and every details about how to pursue PhD or MS in abroad, specifically in USA. So that is very much helpful for our students and the participants who are interested to pursue such higher qualifications. So that is very much important, because most of the times really students are not aware about the things, that how to write the curriculum vitae, or what to write in it, what to avoid, what should be the steps followed by them, and what are the mistakes they have to avoid. So this is very good presentation from your side, ma'am, that you have given the idea about your journey and the steps what you have taken for that, as well as the topic which you have chosen to deliver the lecture. So it is really very good that how to avoid the contamination in the beef products. Yes. So thank you so much. Now I'm requesting that if any participant is having any query, they can please ask or put in the chat box. Ma'am, can you please close your presentation?
Yeah, sure. I can do that.
And yes, ma'am, can you please put your email ID in the chat box, so that if anyone want to contact you, they can.
Yeah, sure. I can do that.
Yes, please, ma'am.
figuring out how to.
No, Pranita,
Yes, sir.
let me talk few sentences.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Really, today I'm very much happy with the presentation of Kavita.
Yes, sir.
She has done an excellent job in guiding fresh student eager to enter USA, UK or other countries.
Thank you so much.
Today we have recorded her lecture.
Yes, sir.
I will change a little bit title,
Okay.
and I'm sure many students will get benefit.
Yes, sir.
Means I will make that how to enter USA for education. And that title will attract many students. So, Kavita, you did a really great job. We'll keep in touch with you,
Thank you.
correct? And you will get a memento from our organization.
Oh, that's really nice.
Only you give address from India, so that we'll give the memento by post in India.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Along with the certificate, memento. Now, Dr. Prakash Halami want to ask question. Dr. Prakash Halami.
Yes.
Sir, post it in the chat box, please.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Sir
in
has
the-
asked that what is the method of Salmonella control in meat products in US?
So basically, the salmonella control in meat product in US, as of now, these people are using the meat slicer, and meat slicer is the main source of contamination because it is not getting sanitized very frequently. But as per the FDA's new law, you have to sanitize your meat slicer every 4 hours. So this is the basic criteria they have given for the salmonella control. And sanitation plays a very important role when you are talking about the foodborne pathogens. So food sanitation, your HACCP, HARPC, and these approaches are, you have to, I mean, your company or your organization should follow.
Yeah, actually, I came across when I was in US related to poultry product especially,
Mm-hmm.
and they were actually quite cautious with reference to the salmonella contamination in poultry product like eggs or even the meat product also. And of course, beef is another vulnerable product for the salmonella. Like for this canned product, we use Nisin especially. Where we can actually take care of Clostridium. So like this way, any measures are there rather than HACCP guidelines or even the preventive measures. Any particular chemical preservatives, if they are using suggested by FDA or anything, I just wanted to know. Because
So
just the antimicrobial substances which we are actually looking will not be active being salmonella being a gram negative. So that is what the concern was. And I think strict regulations are there with reference to the salmonella contamination in any meat product. I think it should be the 0, I guess, as per the FDA's rule.
yes, and actually, for salmonella in meat product, so
Okay.
what exactly now this USA have approach is like HARPC approach. So it is similar to HACCP, but HARPC is like a risk assessment. Like you have to, as we are doing in HACCP and HARPC, it is more like together. But in HACCP, we were not having a preventive control plan, right? But in HARPC, you have to have a preventive control plan. So what if it goes wrong? Then what are the preventive controls and what is your proactive actions? So this is the new concept where US have now incorporated for this meat product and other product which has been consumed by humans. Apart from that, if you are asking me for preservative then I need to check what are the preservative, because I have not checked the FDA guideline correctly. I mean thoroughly to comment on that.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. One question is there from my side, ma'am, that to marinate the meat products is we are generally doing that procedure to enhance its flavor or to increase its nutritional value. So, is it having any disadvantages with respect to your topic? Means what should be the precautions we have to follow during marination? What to use or what not to be used? Ingredients specifically.
So basically, it's like if you are talking about each and every food product, so there is a contamination. There are microorganisms, like
Yes.
microorganisms are everywhere. So
Yes.
you cannot identify like at what stage your food has got contaminated. So it's not like that you have to use a particular spices or particular food product for the marination. It's like how you are using it. So the only one way to control the foodborne poisoning is to cook your product very well. So do not eat any product which has been cooked and then they have kept it longer than 2 hours at room temperatures.
Okay.
So do not eat any such products. Even try to reduce to eat it in like potluck parties and all, where the people are bringing many of the food items for the eating. So make sure that it is hot enough and it is well cooked. So these are the few preventive actions we can take.
Okay. So just to consume as early as possible after the preparations, it is the good way to avoid most of the contaminants to interfere.
Yes.
So that is one of the techniques. Because not to do marination is not the way, because it is the most popular procedure that people usually used to do it. Yes. One more thing, ma'am, zoonotic diseases or that type of bacterial infections. If that is the already the infection is in that particular means in that meat products or whatever in the pork or beef. So, what are the chances to the to what extent it remains in it after cooking also, means after proper cooking also?
It's totally depending on what kind of a zoonotic disease it is. So if it is like a viral or it is like just a salmonella contamination, like a bacterial contamination or viral contamination, it is totally depending on which type of a contamination. So basically you just have to cook your food thoroughly. That's it. That's the only option we are having in front of us. And the main thing is like when you know about the zoonotic disease related to a particular animal, I'll suggest that try to avoid eating that particular animal for a time being, just to until the time of it is getting completely vanished or we are having something antibiotics to deal with it.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, yes. Sir.
Okay. See, the study you did in beef is very, very interesting. Can it be extended to pork and mutton?
Actually, as of now, we have got the funding just to do it in beef. And what exactly we is doing is like we are inoculating the cocktail in beef product, and we are checking the width of that particular patties.
I see.
So yeah.
But
So
I'm sure with your microbes, the cocktail, it will also work in mutton and pork.
Yes,
So
definitely.
you'll have a universal cocktail, which can also be useful in other animals.
Yes, the cocktail will be like universal. Like Salmonella and steak, but then we are trying to evaluate the recipe for the beef
Yes.
product.
Okay.
That's our main goal for this particular project. So
That's right.
so
But-
for example, if you are taking the pork and you are having ground pork and you
Yes.
wanted to prepare a patty, so you can actually go to the sous vide website, and then you can check. Say for example, they have given, say for example, 2 to 3 centimeter of patty, how much time you have to keep it in the sous vide, and what are the how you have to prepare the patty and how you have to do everything.
That's right. Yeah,
So we are
actually,
just validating the recipe which we have already performed in by one of our doctor. I mean, we did the collaborative study. So they have come up with the recipe, and we are just validating that particular recipe, whether it is microbiologically safe to consume.
yes, you're right that pork is having a lot of fat, much more than beef. So maybe you have to modify your cocktail for pork. Whereas for mutton, it may be very good.
Yes, so we are taking beef. So beef is also having a very high amount of a fat. And my next future studies, I am doing it on steak. So I have to tenderize it, and I will also work with tenderized and non-tenderized uh, steak, beef steak, so which will
You try because it will give more value to your work if you can show that your cocktail is working in other mammals.
Yes, definitely. Basically, it will work on all the mammals because these particular bacteria are present in all the meat products.
Right.
You just have to
Yeah.
evaluate the safety of and
Safety.
how
Yes.
well the sous vide is working for this
Right.
recipes.
Yeah, if you do this, you'll get more publications also.
Yeah, definitely.
So you should try, you should play with different mammals and you'll get good results.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. There is one question in chat box that participant is asking that what about the contamination with spore forming organisms? Is there any report for the same?
So for the contamination with the spore forming organism, it is basically with the canned products, and canned product, if I'm not wrong, then they are already sterilized, but some of the product is like the sterilization have not done properly. So there are chances of contamination of this anaerobic bacteria like Clostridium perfringens in the canned product. So you will see the can a little fluffed. So it's better not to eat anything from that particular canned product or canned bottle. So there are many actually reports from the contamination from the spore forming organisms, and this particular industry have to do the process validation for reduction of the salmonella or anaerobic or spore forming organism till I believe 3 to 4 log reduction. They are looking for this process validation, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
So the plant also has to take the initiative to validate their process.
Yes, but mostly we should avoid the packaged food specifically. Or what means? What is your opinion for this?
As of now, everything is like packaged. It's
Yes,
like
yes.
how
So
you
that's
are
why.
how you are consuming it. Do not consume anything raw, I would say.
Yes.
So cooked it
Yes.
thoroughly. If you are consuming it raw, make sure that you are not getting ill or you are having a good antibiotics with you.
Yes, so that is one of the most emerging problem, antibiotic resistance nowadays. So that means we cannot totally avoid the packaged food because that is the need of an hour. because
Yes.
yes. So
Yes, Pranita,
yes, sir.
Dr. Tejendra Kumar and Dr. Ambika Patil, they
Yes.
are attending today's lecture. I request them, can you introduce yourself, please? Dr. Tejendra Kumar and Dr. Ambika Patil. Because
Yes, yes, sir. Good morning, sir, and
good morning, you are from which place?
Sir, I am from New Delhi, and I'm an assistant professor in Delhi University.
Very good. So you are attending this lecture. I'm very happy to see you.
Thank you so much, sir.
And Dr. Ambika Patil. Dr. Ambika Patil. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please introduce
Sir, I
yourself.
am Dr. Ambika Patil from Tamil Nadu.
Very good. From which place?
Krishna College, Pundi Bharadas University, Trichy.
Yeah, I know. Very, very
Yes, sir. Yes,
reputed institute.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for attending.
Very, very
And
nice lecture, sir. Very nice.
Keep on encouraging young generation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nandri
We are
said.
always with you for the microbiology field, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. We are always with you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you,
Nandri
sir.
said
Thank you
for
for.
your,
Yes.
I said him like Nandri. Nandri means thank you in Tamil. So I have worked in Chennai, so I have learned few things.
Okay,
few
okay,
words.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Congratulations, madam. Congratulations.
Thank
More
you
and
so
more
much.
wishes. All the
Thank
best.
you. Nandri.
Okay, Pranita, now you can
Yes, sir.
continue.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your thorough information, what you have shared with all of us. Really, it will be very much benefited to our participants, and on your email ID, they can contact you in future also. So yes, it is our pleasure to be in touch with you. So on behalf of the organizing committee, Honorable Principal Professor Mahendra Dhore of Shivaji Science College, Congress Nagar, Nagpur, and Honorable President of Microbiology Society India, respected Dr. Deshmukh sir, on behalf of both the organizing committee, I am very much thankful to you, Ms.Kavita Patil ma'am, for your precious guest lecture. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.